Hello.
Welcome.
This is different now.
We finally, hopefully, if everything technologically goes right, have a video. So hey, you can see our faces. Sorry about my hair. I need a retwist.
We just like this now.
Yeah, this is crazy. I can't believe how many episodes. This is the 16th?
16. Yeah, that's 16.
16th episode. It took us 16 episodes to figure out a video.
But now we're here. So happy 4th of July, Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day.
America. If you're American.
America. Heck yeah.
Yeah, this is different.
This is so different because we were preparing for this in the beginning, and now it's sort of like we got used to not having a video, so now we're gonna have to be conscious of.
Yeah, if you've been here for a while, we always say we're gonna get the video soon. At least like every 2 podcasts.
Oh yeah. Wait, they don't know our faces. I'm Miles, so this is the voice.
If you've seen the cover, I'm like I'm the one with the glasses.
Yeah. Even though I do wear glasses, I just didn't wear them when he asked for my picture to base the cover art. I didn't wear glasses.
Yeah,
he did. So, yeah.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, we didn't even introduce ourselves. Like, I'm Christian, co-host Miles.
Woo! A few things about us. Well, a few things about me. I'm 18. I am going to attend Drexel University. Shout out the Dragons. Yeah. How about you?
I didn't know we were going to introduce ourselves. Like,
something simple. What school you going to? What you plan on majoring?
Yeah, I'm going to college. I'm going to Montclair State University.
How old are you?
I'm 17. I like to draw.
I like to make music.
Yeah,
and that's us.
This is our dynamic.
Yep. Anyway, that's the regular schedule program for you all who are viewing on YouTube. We have a segment in which it's similar to the Jubilee videos. Do all blank think alike. We really like the concept. Gets us to have some interesting conversations. So yeah, that's what our segment is gonna be about. We're gonna have four like statements, and we have to say whether we agree, slightly agree, strongly agree, or vice versa. You can't be neutral for this one. I don't know if Jubilee can it be neutral in Jubilee.
I think there is a middle. There's
a middle. Oh yeah, well there's no middle here, so you have to pick a side. And then after that, we'll get into a topic and just have fun. So come along with us, and again, we want your feedback. So if you see this, comment down below where you're from, what state, what country, and let us know a little bit about you so that we can hopefully build a community here.
For our audio listeners, you can catch us now at the Campfire Podcast on YouTube. Yes. I think it's just the Campfire.
Yeah, it is just the Campfire.
Yeah, the N sign for the A. So check us out on YouTube.
Woo! If you like videos more, then this is where it's at.
All right, so first one.
Yep, first one.
Okay, first one. Number 1. Most people today have bad social skills.
Oh, strongly agree.
Elaborate.
Strongly agree, mainly because it's technology. As in, I said this to one of my friends when we were FaceTiming the other day, but with the use of technology, you have that blockade of the screen. So that screen being there, you can, like, let's say you get a text message, you can then think about what you're going to say and sort of formulate like a response back, right? That's why it takes a minute or 2 minutes or even 10 minutes to respond, especially if it's something serious. Whereas in person, you have emotions, you have feelings, and you have people's energies and vibes that you sort of can connect with. And on that connection, it can make things harder if you're used to the constant, oh, they said this, and you're interpreting what they're saying with no facial expressions or anything. Like, yeah, you have the LMAO, the LOL, but even we know there's some nuances when using those things, like sarcasm and all that. So it sort of makes it harder for our generation to hold the conversation in person, because then that's when, I always say this, the eyes are the window to the soul. And if you have to make eye contact with someone and you're not used to that, you just say whatever's on your mind, or you won't say anything at all because you don't know what to say, because you're now seeing it's like talking to someone in live. So that's why I'm saying it. Yeah, we lack social skills.
I'm strongly agree too, mainly because I suffer from those problems too sometimes. Like, this is what it is, because there's no options. Like, you don't have to socialize if you don't want to. Exactly. You could just keep being behind the screen for the majority of your life. You're gonna have to like talk to people in person eventually, but for the most part, you could like survive in your house for months Like, you could just do it now.
And the funny thing is, you would think with social media, we would be more social and inclined to like share our opinions, but it actually does the opposite in person.
Yeah,
like I said,
that's just crazy. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
it's not social media. It's just, I don't even know.
Because you have the anonymous feeling. You're hiding behind your profile. So whatever you portray, you could portray yourself as someone who's woke and really, who's a activist and all this. But then in real life, you could be completely shy.
Yeah.
Like, you're sort of hiding behind this persona that you perceive, that you want people to perceive you as online. So I think that's sort of why it's subtracting from like social life in person.
I always try to just like be without thinking it. If you're like the way you are without actually thinking about it and trying to like figure out, okay, like, should I do this? Should I do this? If you're just like genuinely you and authentically you, then just be that. And just be that. It's not that bad.
Advice from Christian. Yo, YouTube's viewers are gonna get used to that. This man's has
wise words.
Wise words from Christian on a Sunday.
It's Sunday. Yeah. All right. Second one. Self-love isn't as widely supported or promoted as relationship love. Strongly agree. I say strongly agree. I'll say what you think. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I say strongly agree, mainly because I don't really be seeing like that type of love or like care in like TV. Well, I hear from like some celebrities and role models and things like that, but I don't really be seeing it in types of media such as movies, television, things of like that nature. I don't be seeing that. Like, I see relationships in like movies and they're always about like the boy gets the girl, but I never be seeing like the boy gets himself. Like,
the boy gets himself. He knows who he is. Well,
yeah.
One, it
happens sometimes.
In terms of generic movies, real relationships are just more entertaining. That's the sad reality.
Yeah.
So that's just a matter of making money. Two, you do have movies where, like you said, the boy finds himself, but those are coming of age stories. Same thing with like coming of age books.
But
like that.
I guess in terms of like, say in a movie, for example, like there's this woman, she's given the option of being either in a relationship or like just being with herself to just understand herself more.
Got you.
I don't really see her just being like, okay, you know what? No relationships. I'm just gonna learn who I am. I don't see that much. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of slightly agree, only because it depends on what you mean by self-love. Because I'm looking at it in a sense of between, like you said, media, like in terms of movies, books, and social media. And in terms of social media, you have, like, you know, the more entertaining one of getting into relationships or hookup culture and things like that. Whereas they don't really talk about self-love, but when they do mention self-love, it's always an action or something being done to yourself, if that makes sense. As in, they're like, oh, treat yourself, as in buy yourself something or take yourself to get a massage or other things like that. But then, like, a relationship, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Or here's a different perspective. In just real life, I just don't really I don't like see just being by yourself to just learn to love yourself as the norm. You know?
Yeah.
Like, especially sometimes some like older people from older generations be like, oh, like, you got a girlfriend? And it's like, I know you don't mean no harm, but like, what if I was just like, nah, I'm just trying to chill by myself, learn who I am, that type of thing.
Most of the time, they'd probably be chill. I don't know.
It
is weird. I'm noticing a change in self-love, but it's not the self-love that's good. It's always, like I said, it's always a product. As in, oh, get yourself a massage, or you should try this new restaurant and treat yourself to your own dinner.
Or
like, it's always something like gratitude yourself. Gratifying, thank you. Gratifying yourself. Whereas self-love should more be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a day to like read a book or enjoy your own self-time or work out.
Or like go on a date with yourself. Like I never be seeing people just be like, "Oh yeah, I went to a movie yesterday." I was like, "Oh yeah, who you go with?" Myself. I was like, "Oh."
But I'm not gonna lie. You going to the movies by yourself is kind of sad.
It is a little bit, but if they're enjoying themselves,
Exactly. If you're enjoying yourself, do you. But I'm not gonna lie. Like yesterday when we went to the movies, there was one seat next to me, and I was just hoping. I was like, please tell me no one's coming to the movie by themselves to sit next to me. I don't want to sit next to you. And that's just me wanting my own personal space. But yeah,
some places are not like for yourself. I say you can go by yourself to movies. That's fine. Just do you.
I remember the only time I've actually been to the movies by myself is when I was waiting on a group of friends to meet up. So I was like, while waiting, I'll go watch a movie. And that was it. Anyway, next one.
Okay. Speaking about movies, number 3, movie theaters are dying out.
Yeah, agree. I don't strongly agree, but agree.
Yeah, agree.
Like streaming services now, especially due to COVID. Yeah, streaming services are for some reason the new thing that everyone's using, but then nothing beats the movie theater experience. So
it really doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Unless you got your own private home theater. But even then, just going to movies and like you just see all the commercials going on.
Yep, the popcorn, the surround
and
sound.
the lights go low, and then nothing beats movies. But sadly, they are dying out.
I mean, they're dying out, but they're not gonna go away.
Yeah, they won't go away. But I think like the more like vintage, like the older movie theaters, they're
like the one in Denellen.
Yeah, those might die out. You'll still have like AMC's and
Regals.
We have a Cinemark, Regal, whatever.
But yeah, that's something like even TV, like, excuse me, sorry, even TV shows, right? Like those are dying out, and I don't know why. I'm like, TV shows are amazing, but then
you mean like cable TV?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm like, fam, cable TV is actually really good, especially some of the shows on there. But then people only use streaming services now to watch like shows like Lucifer. I watched, you know what Lucifer is?
Yeah.
On Netflix. Yeah, I watched it when it was coming out weekly on Fox, and I was telling everyone, I was like, yo, this show was good. I was like, you need to watch it. The show was amazing. And then no one wanted to listen to me. Everyone's just like, okay, yeah, Miles, I don't watch TV like that. I don't watch TV like that. And then as soon as it came to Netflix, everyone talking to me like, Miles, you should watch Lucifer on Netflix. It's really good. I'm like, I've been watched Lucifer, bro. I was a fan from day one. And now you guys want to hop on the Lucifer train? Bruh, you should have watched it when it was on cable TV.
I think the problem there is those types of shows. I don't know if this is the case for Lucifer, but for some shows that are like really good, but they don't have a lot of ratings, they might be just like, okay, you're going to go to a streaming service or something like that. So what ends up happening is like a lot of the good shows that everyone likes, no one like watches it because they watch streaming services, and they watch streaming services to get the good shows that aren't on cable TV because of the ratings, because no one watches it, because everyone watches
loophole.
Yeah,
that's
it's a constant cycle.
With cable TV, so what happens is if they cancel it on cable TV, it can be picked up by streaming services, but that's not always the case.
They did that with
originals.
They're doing that with a show. I think they did. It's oh my god. They did with an animated show I started watching that I really liked when it first came out, called Infinity Train. It was on Cartoon Network, and then they put it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's weird. All I'm saying is that don't count cable TV out, but also streaming services are taking over, so that will result in cable TV and movie theaters slowly losing more traction. Like, look at Disney Plus. Fam, you know how much money Disney is making?
The only thing I don't like about Disney Plus is for newer movies that aren't originals on like the platform, they have this premiere access.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
But I hate that because it costs so much money.
Exactly. That's how they're taking your money.
Just make it less money.
No. You signed up for Disney Plus, and if it's a new movie and it's coming out in theaters, you can either see it in theaters, or if you want to watch it home, you're gonna have to buy it.
But it costs so much more.
Again, I'm telling you, Disney is reaching into your pockets and saying, "Give me your money."
I'm okay with it because it takes after a couple of months, it just comes on the platform for free. That's how I'm with Raya. That's how I saw Raya, because it came out earlier, and I just watched it when it was free.
Same. That's how I watched everything, even Mulan.
Oh, I don't watch Mulan.
Legit. What was the first thing to come on Disney? Was it WandaVision?
Yeah, but you had to pay for that. That was just the original.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so my mom first got Disney Plus to watch, so we can watch WandaVision, and then she wanted to watch Mulan, but then she realized you had to pay for Mulan. So then she waited like 6 months for Mulan to become free. So then she watched it, and then they came out with Captain and
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon and Winter.
I can't talk.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's the pressure of the people watching this.
Dang. Everyone from home. Continue though.
But yeah, so then it's just things just kept coming out. So now we're just like, you know what, we're gonna keep Disney Plus. There's another thing we have to pay for, but
I like it.
It is good, but like I said, they're taking your money. Netflix taking your money. Hulu.
Netflix will always stay on top. It would just always stay on top.
I don't know what. Like, I think it's because of the interface. Like, I was looking at Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus on the TV, and there's so much slower, and the interface isn't as cooperative as Netflix. Like, even on the computer, the interface, I don't know why, it's just not as satisfying or connecting.
Netflix has been around the longest, and it has like the best original series. It has a pretty good lineup depending on what country you live in, but at the same time, depending on what country you live in, you may have a worse one, because I think the US is like okay.
But what I will admit though is Netflix does go through times of like dry seasons.
Yeah, it does.
As in there's nothing to watch, and you literally have like times where you invite someone over and you're like, oh, what do you want to watch on Netflix? And you spend an hour trying to pick something, whereas on Hulu, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, they actually have like either old TV shows where you can have like nostalgia or just better things.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, the only one that rivals it are either Hulu or HBO Max.
Same. Amazon Prime for the anime.
I haven't watched nothing at Amazon Prime.
But okay, Vinland Saga, Banana Fish.
Yeah. But yeah.
Those are on Amazon Prime. And even some of like the Bollywood movies or just some of the other more third party movies. Those are good on Amazon Prime.
But for what like Netflix is, because it doesn't have like exclusive like franchises or whatever to them. Like Disney Plus, they got Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars and National Geographic. And then HBO Max has like, they have Crunchyroll stuff, Cartoon Network, HBO, DC. I think they have like classic movies, something like that.
They have their own franchises. What you're saying?
Yeah, but Netflix is just, they have everything.
Does Hulu have Nickelodeon?
They do, but
or is that Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus has it because they own Nickelodeon, but Hulu has some Nickelodeon shows. But they're part of Disney. That makes sense. And
then Netflix is just Netflix. Like they try to get their hands on whatever is available.
And then like when it was just like Netflix and Hulu, Netflix had everything.
True.
But then they got all the Disney stuff taken off because Disney Plus, and then they got all like the DC stuff taken off for the most part because of the HBO Max.
But then like I said, they're still grasping at like some of the Nickelodeon things like Big Time Rush, iCarly.
Yeah,
and then
we're saying like
Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's Nickelodeon.
Nah, they better keep that on. That's what they better keep that on.
Not the movie. Get rid of the movie. But
keep Avatar and Korra on there. Oh my goodness.
That literally, I'm telling you, when that came out in quarantine,
I was hyped as hell. Exactly. I was like,
everyone came back to Netflix, bro. That same day, everyone came back to Netflix talking about, have you seen Avatar? Have you seen Korra? And then it just became a whole trend on TikTok and everything. So don't get rid of it, Netflix. That was a hit. And On My Block. That's another one.
They have so many good original series. They had you ever seen Ozark?
Yes.
Yeah, Ozark.
You seen You?
You told me to watch it. I didn't watch it.
Bro, it's so good. When is the third season coming out, Netflix? If you see this, when is it coming out?
Listen to him. You want it now.
I want it. That and I can't say this out loud. My parents gonna watch this. But I'll tell you later.
Well, they have On My Block, Sex Education.
That one.
Atypical. That's pretty good too. Ozark.
Elite.
What's that one called?
Elite.
It's called what is it called?
Ginny and Georgia.
Nah, it's like a drama. I forgot what's Dark. It's called Dark, and I heard it's pretty good.
What is it? All American? All American. That's another good one.
Lucifer.
They had Lucifer. I mean, they're coming out the 6th season anyway.
And they had this one. I forgot the show.
Sorry to cut you off. There's a cable TV show called Prodigal Son. Now, if any streaming services out there are watching this, probably not, but I'm saying this regardless. Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney, who I don't care. One of you need to pick up Prodigal Son. Please. And thank you. Because that show is too good to be canceled after its second season. It's amazing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Prodigal. Prodigal. Son. Son. And bro, fam, it's amazing.
Also, HBO Max. You better do one more season, or at least Titan?
Yeah.
Titans. Oh, Titans?
Yeah.
Oh, like Teen Titans.
Yes.
But okay. I never watched that. But
continue.
You need to at least do like one more season of Infinity Train. Like it's got 4 seasons. Just do a season 5. It's fire. It's, anyway, we've been talking about this too long.
Next one.
Yeah, but we on you, Netflix,
we on you.
Hulu, all streaming services.
All streaming services. We on you. We on your.
I'm watching you. How's my train of thought? Oh yeah, number 4. All right. Number 4 is following your dreams is easier said than done.
I strongly agree. That's straightforward.
Yeah, strongly agree. You want to elaborate?
You can have now. Can your dream change? Yes. And can it happen quicker than you expect? Yes. But at the end of the day, hard work beats everything. You can have a talent. You can be born with an amazing gift. But you have to work at that skill or whatever to achieve your dream. And that hard work is that's harder to do. It's harder. It's easier said and harder to actually do it. As in, you can say, I can easily say, I'm going to run 3 miles every day. I run the first 3 miles one day and I feel that pain and I try to do it the second day. It can get harder and harder, but then once you get into a rhythm, it may get easier and easier. You don't know. So most things are easier said than done.
Yeah, I think another problem is you have to overcome your mind, because you can do a lot of things. Like if doubt and insecurity wasn't a problem,
and overthinking,
yeah, you can do pretty much everything.
Anything, honestly, genuinely, you can do anything if you just, like you said, it's a mental.
So mental.
And it's hard too, because you can't really underthink anything, but you don't want to overthink anything either.
You just have to do it.
Yeah, it's start.
Even that's easier said than done. But once you understand, like, you just do it, you kind of just do it. You just put one foot forward and you just keep going.
Yeah. There's somebody, I forgot who, but there's a quote by somebody who said the hardest part about doing anything is starting it.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. Like, even getting up in the morning. Think about when you wake up, that alarm goes off and you have to go to school, work, or whatever. The hardest part is getting out of bed. That's the hardest part. Once you're out of bed, you're good. You may want to go back down, like go back to sleep or go back in bed, but you're already out. So might as well keep going.
Yeah. I mainly thought of this statement because I was watching this movie called La La Land. It's a musical. It was really good. It was really good. But I realized in the movie, it focused on these 2 people called Mia and Sebastian. And it follows like their relationship and them trying to follow dreams. Mia's trying to be an actress. Sebastian's trying to be a musician. But some problems like happen along the way. And in the movie, you see that the relationship is really like idealized. It's perfect. It's like magical. It's literally out of this world. They have this dance sequence where they literally dance among the stars. Yeah. When they're in like a observatory or something like that, right?
True.
But then like reality starts to hit them, and it's like, okay, are we really even going down the same path? And this is like a little small hint, not a hint in the movie, but like a thing in the movie. Their first date, they go to a really old movie theater called like the Rialto.
Oh wait, warning, spoilers, maybe.
Oh yeah, spoiler warning. You should watch it though. But they go to this movie theater called the Rialto that shows like old movies, and it's really cool. And it's like, it just looks like kind of not magical, but just has that vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Got you.
But once the problems in the relationship are happening, you see Mia walking down the street to go home or something like that, and then you see the movie theater and it's actually closed down. So I think it's like a subtle hints in the movie that are saying like, this is reality. Things can't always be like this all the time. So what I'm trying to say is like, on your path to follow your dreams, you're gonna like encounter obstacles, and you might have to, cut people off, or just cut people off that you don't really want to cut off, because while they're good in your life, you're just not going down the same path. So following your dreams is said and done, because there's a lot more that comes into following your dreams. If you really, really want it, you're gonna have to go through a lot more stuff than the average person.
I'm telling you, like, even you look at, like, we talked about this in a previous podcast. Go on Spotify for YouTube listeners if you want to know what we're talking about. But when we talk about people being jealous, I even said, like, you cannot like somebody if there's somebody who's really fast or strong or just better than you in something. Like, they didn't get that waking up. Like, they had to put in the work. So even if you don't like them, like I said this before, Jake Paul, I don't like him. If you watch this on YouTube or not, if I meet him one day, I'm sorry, I don't like you. Based off how you present yourself on social media, I don't vibe with your personality. But I have to admit, he works hard. Like, he works hard. So he's at a level where he had to work hard for that. Like, he didn't just get that overnight. Even if he said he did, like, he had to work hard for it. So
yeah, this guy I watched, his name is the Black Okage. You should check him out. He's pretty cool.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he said this quote during one of his streams on Twitch, and he said, if you want extraordinary results, you have to do extraordinary things. So you have to do things that the average person just doesn't do, and it might be kind of jarring because you might be around people who not live an average life, but just they don't live the same life that you're trying to live. And
then they don't challenge you. If they're like happy with where they are, or not even happy, but like
they might not challenge you because it's not in their nature to challenge themselves. If that makes sense. Like, they're not doing it intentionally to like
harm you, unless they're yes men. But
even then, like, it might be one of those things where they don't know the effect that they're having on you because of what they're doing, because of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, you need people that are willing to challenge you and force you to be like, yo, look back at what you're doing. Do you think you're generally doing the right decisions, making the right choices?
And it might be hard because it's always tempting to do the easier options, to just live the life everyone else is doing, because you don't have to put that much work in. You don't have to like have this much pain if you're having pain, or you might have to not do all these things that are taken away from like your social life and things you actually want to do. But at the end of the day, if you're following your dreams, it has to be something that you're actually really passionate and you really want it. Like, you want to like die for it.
Yeah. And then honestly, confidence is another thing. Have confidence in yourself, but don't
be arrogant.
Don't be arrogant and don't have a lot of pride. As J. Cole said, pride is the devil. Pride can stop you from actually growing and being better.
Pride is the devil.
Yeah, that song is amazing. But like,
I think you gotta hold on me.
Pride is the devil. But yeah, pride could literally, like, I know, like he even said that in the song, but I know reasons as to why families have not talked for decades because of their pride, and they wouldn't let it go. And pride could literally stop you from learning and developing so much, but then not having any confidence can literally stop your growth right there, because you can work, and since you don't have confidence when the time comes, then you're not able to show anything for it. So if you work hard and have confidence in your ability and your work ethic, because like, even if you lie about it, you know the work you put in. So if you know that you put in the work and you did the right things, then you should have confidence in your abilities and in what you can do, no matter what you want to do in life, no matter what your dreams are.
I just saw another fire quote. I forgot where I saw this actually. I think it was on a TikTok. Yeah, I think it was a TikTok. And it's this girl, she does like self-love types of things. She says quotes like a day. So one of her quotes, and it just kind of stuck with me. It was like, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less.
Yes, that's
I'll say it again. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. So,
and with that, we will get ready to go on a break.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna explain it. Just I'm gonna let that sit with
you. Let that sink in. So we're gonna have a break. For those on YouTube, you might again go to other podcasts if you need a bit more explanation. But we're using Anchor. Shout out Anchor. You're helping us a lot with this. And it only allowed 30-minute intervals. So after these 30 minutes, going to short little break, and then we'll come back for the last 30 minutes of the podcast. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far.
Yeah, it's pretty fun so far. First video.
Good.
Peace.
Bye. Hey, welcome back.
Hello.
All right, this is the second half of the podcast where we're going to talk about movies. Christian, go away with the first question.
I mean, it's not really a question, just a topic.
It's a
But
question mark.
Oh yeah. So I made this topic. It was just saying, I was just thinking, are franchises as good as standalone movies, or just stories in general? So movies, TV, books, etc., whatever you view as a story.
Me personally, I'm gonna say yes, because franchises have the ability to grow more in terms of characters and setting and world development than standalone stories. But I will say standalone stories do have that impact of more. They have more impact in the sense of, in that standalone story, they can do a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you about the franchises because they have the ability of allowing characters to grow more and develop over time, and they can do it more carefully and like subtly because they have more time.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say like you have like usually like a max of like 2 hours, so you got like 6 hours to like fill out this character, which can be done. But then with standalone stories, because they don't have that much time to develop the character as much, they could do more and less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, as in standalone stories can tend, again, depends on what it is, but can tend to be
movies.
More meaningful.
I keep thinking about movie. I said like a 2 hour limit. I just said stories in general.
Well, no, but, even so, like standalone stories, movies, they can be more meaningful than franchises. If that makes sense.
They can be.
Because like you said, they can do more but less at the same time. As in they can have a lot of meaning, details, and impactfulness within that short time span or that one story to make you really think more after the fact. Whereas franchises is more you being invested in the story and the characters.
I think the problem with some franchises, because they're a franchise and they know that they are going to be a franchise. I'm talking about more in like movie aspect. They kind of plan for the next movie instead of like focusing on make sure this movie is the best that it can be. So like you're planning for something that you're not really building up correctly, if that makes sense.
No, but even in that, so okay, if you're talking about movies, let's look at the MCU. The MCU is a huge franchise, and that people are invested, right? Invested within that franchise and within that story. But then if you look at the movie Get Out, that's a standalone movie, a standalone story. But when you finish watching it, you are there thinking about the topics and the theories and what that movie meant afterwards, compared to you watching Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you were watching Harry Potter, a random movie in Harry Potter, or if you're watching a horror movie franchise, if you're watching one of the Halloweens.
I thought a better way to say it. So standalone movies, because they're only like on its own, they could get through the theme a little more strongly because they're directly focusing on that. Or like they go through a character arc, but it's only one movie, so they go through the whole character arc. You get like the full story and it's complete, regardless of like what the ending is. You got that story as it is. But franchises, they kind of fit in the whole, so it's not like what's a good let's say
Star Wars.
Yeah, like Star Wars. Like say I'm trying to think of I'm gonna go back to Harry Potter because it just came into my mind. So let's say you watch Harry Potter and the whatever is something. Yeah, the Sorcerer's Stone, right? Or let's do a different one. Harry Potter and like the Prisoner of Azkaban, right?
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, as a whole, it works because it's contributing to the whole like 7-book / movie story. Or I guess 8, 7-book / movie story.
Mm-hmm.
But then on its own, it's like it's incomplete because it's part of the whole, but not on its own.
Yes.
Like on its own, it's a good movie, but it works because it's part of a franchise that contributes to the next one.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Okay, so same thing if you look at the MCU. The MCU is, like I said, because that's the biggest franchise I could think of. But if you look at, let's think, Guardians of the Galaxy. That is a good movie. But there are some things that you would need to be explained that are explained in other movies.
Or
that would make sense, like Infinity Stones.
Yeah, or Endgame. Like you can't watch Endgame on its own.
Endgame is a fantastic movie too. But like he said, You
can't watch it on its own.
You can't watch it on its own.
You can watch Infinity War on its own, I think.
You can't even watch Infinity War on its own because they introduce everything, everyone.
I think if I watched Infinity War like without watching anything else, I could like.
You'd be so confused.
I'd be confused, but I'd be like, this is pretty good. But like Endgame, it's like it's calling back other parts of like the franchise. And
Endgame is also part 2 of Infinity War. It's
yeah,
basically Infinity War part 2. It's a continuation.
Yeah, overall, it's really hard to watch those movies on its own because
they're part of a franchise. But like I said, if you watch Us, Get Out, other singular movies, I don't know why those are the first 2 that came to mind. Can you think of other singular movies?
Cloverfield. I thought about Cloverfield. I don't know why. I think it's called like something Cloverfield Lane, but it's part of kind of like a franchise a little bit, or like La La Land or Moonlight. You ever seen Moonlight before?
La La Land, Les Miserables, the movie, The Greatest Showman. Now I'm just thinking of plays. Boogie, the movie with Pop Smoke,
and like overall, like it's just I don't even know where we're going with this.
You took me on a rabbit hole of trying to think of singular movies now.
But like, what were you saying before? We were talking about I was thinking about DC for a second. So going back to like the problem with like some franchises. I'm going back to franchises now. So a problem I noticed, like other people pointed out too with DC movies, is they didn't like compared to Marvel. They didn't build it the same way. With Marvel movies, you had before the Avengers, like the first Avengers in 2012, you had Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and I think you had Hulk too. You had 2 Iron Man movies. Like you had like 4 or 5 movies to build up to like the main event, like the first team up movie, right? Mm-hmm. Versus in DC, they only had Man of Steel and then just Batman v Superman, and then they had Wonder Woman, and then the same year came out was Justice League. And in Justice League, they introduced the members in it instead of having like solo movies beforehand.
But it's also a different time because DC came out with movies when Marvel was in their 3rd phase, right?
I think they're just trying to catch up a little bit.
It wasn't even catch up. It was the fact that people were going to compare DC and Marvel anyway because they've been comparing them in the comics anyway. So
it's going to happen.
Yeah, and DC, like you said, DC probably was also trying to catch up. But if you think back to when Iron Man first came out, everyone thought it was just going to be another superhero movie. No one thought it was going to lead to like something until they saw the end credit scene. Then they thought it was going to be Iron Man 2, right? No one was thinking they're going to build into like phases or build into a whole franchise. They just thought when they saw Iron Man, they literally thought, it's another superhero movie because they came out with superhero movies before. They came out with Hulk, before they came out with Batman, and
they've been with superhero movies since like
the 19
Superman in the 70s.
Exactly. So people when they saw that, it's gonna be a superhero movie, let's watch it. Then they came out with Captain America, same thing. They're like, it's a superhero movie, let's watch it. Then when they started coming out with the Avengers, everyone was like, this is, and they made callbacks to Iron Man, to Captain America, to Thor, and they made all these callbacks. People were like, this is starting to build into something, and then it just kept going and kept going. Whereas with DC, with the idea of franchises and Marvel Cinematic Universe, when DC entered that realm, people were like, DC's gonna try and make their own cinematic universe, whereas they might not have wanted to. They might have just wanted to release a cool, Superman movie. But then, since everyone's just like, it should be a cinematic universe to compete with Marvel, then they're either trying to catch up. But like I said, it's different. Marvel. The other thing that contributes to it. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's cool.
But Marvel is more. I've always said this. Marvel's more for kids. It's easier to digest for someone who is like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to actually portray DC from the comics, it is dark. Like, Batman is not a superhero. He's not.
I don't read DC comics, so
he's an anti-hero.
I'm not really a comic person in general. Okay. I always thought about getting into comics, but it's always where to start. And I know there's like many different options.
It's hard to start because there's all these different variations and volumes you have to follow. But it's cool.
I did read a Spider-Man comic. It was pretty good, but I'll show afterwards. But you're speaking about the the early phase of Marvel when they first did the Avengers. Yeah. I remember when Iron Man 3 came out and he threw like his heart, like the thing in the sea. I thought he was done being Iron Man. I thought he was like, that's it. No, he got like surgery, got it out so he could live. But I thought like he threw the whatever it was.
Oh,
in
you're
the
talking
ocean.
about Iron Man 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he threw it like in the ocean. I was like, all right, so no more Iron Man. And then like Avengers: Age of Ultron came out, and he's back in the suit, and I was like,
It's just not attached to his heart.
yeah, but I thought like him throwing it in the ocean was like symbolizing him like leaving behind Iron Man because all the suits were destroyed and everything. But
I mean,
it's too late now.
yeah. I mean, now he's spoiler, big spoiler, friend.
Hey, if
Now
you haven't
he-
seen it
I'm
now,
kidding.
that's kind of on you.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not gonna say anything.
Go get a free trial on Disney Plus and watch
all
Endgame.
the movies, fam. Just watch all because you can do it. Watch all those Marvel Cinematic Universe. It might take you a week. You
Yeah,
can do it.
most of them are average. They're not bad.
Most of them are good.
Some of them are, but
Which one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe you don't like?
I don't like Thor: The Dark World. I don't like
I like that.
what else? I don't like Iron Man 2.
Fair.
I don't really like Age of Ultron anymore. I don't really like it that much anymore. I thought it was okay. I didn't
Bro,
really like
they
it
put
that
that
much
on
anymore.
FX almost every weekend.
I know. I was watching it. I guess I got tired.
You just got tired of it because you watched it every day. That's how you
Yeah.
know it's good.
What else? Black Panther. I actually.
Careful with where you're going with this. Remember, we're on YouTube now. We can get canceled.
I like Black Panther, but I don't like it as much as I used to like it. I'll say it like that. I think it's a good movie. I just don't like it as much as other Marvel movies.
Fair enough.
Because my favorite Marvel movies are like both the Guardians of the Galaxies,
Okay.
the first Avengers, Iron Man 3.
I did not really like Iron Man 3. It made no sense.
I like Thor. I like Thor Ragnarok.
That was funny.
Obviously, Infinity War. I think Infinity War is my favorite one. I like Infinity War a lot.
That made me sad. It made me cry.
That's why it's good.
Endgame made
It made
me
you
cry.
it made you feel emotions.
Didn't. I don't want to feel emotion. I'm kidding now. It was good.
I forgot about Ant-Man, but Ant-Man was Ant-Man. It was okay. I actually really like Ant-Man because I like
It was cool.
the concept of Ant-Man.
I like how they built him as a hero. They just didn't introduce him as here's Ant-Man. Like they actually slowly showed him
Yeah.
struggle to become Ant-Man.
Oh, Civil War. I like Civil War.
That should have been an Avengers movie. I don't like it because
It basically was. It
wasn't
basically
an Avengers
was.
movie. It should have been. It was just the fact that it was focused on Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That's why it was a Captain America movie. But it should have
I
been.
don't know.
an
I
Avengers
see it
movie.
as like Avengers 2.5. I see it as like that.
It definitely was.
Because, yeah, I mean, it was.
Anyway, actually, this is in a complete opposite way. Speaking of other superheroes, Fast and Furious. I watched F9 yesterday.
Tell them the
Bruh, listen. So, even before, you just...
I'm going to chill out for this one.
Bro, it doesn't... I don't know if you are on TikTok, people made, jokes talking about the Fast and Furious series. How like, oh, we're going to do a Mad Lib. Name someone who you're going to bring back to life. Give me a wrestler. Give me somewhere where a car can't go. And then people be like, yo, this actually sounds like a plot for a Fast and Furious movie. Now,
Because it is.
Now
it is.
watching F9, I genuinely think the creators looked at TikTok and said, we gonna take
No, they
that
definitely
idea.
did. They definitely were like, I'm going to just keep going around. I'm going to keep
Bruh.
going with this.
Bro, it was honestly like, it first was about racing. And now, oh my days. Honestly, if they keep going this way, based off of what I saw in Fast 9, they need to introduce Transformers X Fast and Furious.
They got mechas now.
It makes sense. Imagine Dom and Optimus Prime.
No.
We
Here,
stand,
okay.
we all
Fast
fall.
and Furious creators or execs, whatever. Listen to me. What you need to do, you need to make these actual superheroes. So what you got to do, you can't literally make them superheroes by giving them powers. But what you can do,
They already have
is-
powers. They're invincible, bro.
no. But to make them even more invincible, what you got to do, right? You got to introduce some superhero jokes like Captain America, right? And inject it into them, right? So they become invincible and they got unique traits.
They already invincible. Listen, here's spoiler for F9. There's this. Are you gonna watch it?
I don't care.
Okay, so there's so many scenes in which I'm there like,
Spoilers.
bro, what? But there's one scene where the enemy was on the top of a moving truck armor, like an armored truck war machine thing. It looked like a train, but it was anyway. He was on top of it, moving at high speeds, right? Fighting John Cena. John Cena looked at him. A metal like sign. You know how they have like a sign on a highway?
Yeah.
A metal sign hit him in the back of the head, and he didn't go flying. He broke the metal sign. Tell me how that makes sense. I'm sorry. Tell me how that makes sense, bro. He broke a metal sign with the back of his head. They already invincible. They went to Mexico or some place to like invade an airplane. He pulled up in a wife beater. No bulletproof vest. No, he came up with a wife beater and a shotgun and is walking around like he's SWAT, talking about some, what is that technology? Like he's a private part of the military. And then the military of whatever foreign country they were in started shooting at them. He is standing still with a shotgun. They are meters away. How you gonna hit them? And they all missed. All the bad guys just couldn't shoot him in the head. Bruh, they either are shooting blind or they already invincible because they came back from that. No
Talk
scratches.
about the spaceships. Talk about the spaceships.
I'm not doing it. I'm not that's a spoiler. Watch F9 for yourself.
It's in the trailer. It's in the trailer.
Even in the other movies, bruh. You talking about us? They are a submarine. A submarine is coming, like shooting itself out the water, going under the water like a whale, and then it blows up. He proceeds to jump out of it, out of the blowing up submarine on ice, and then the cars circle him so that the flames shooting from the submarine do not like hit a guy standing on ice. They already invincible. They left that and had no scratches or burns or bruises.
Because they're doing it for family. They're doing it for family.
Exactly. My point. They all invincible.
I just wonder where the where's the series going at this point?
F9 really pushed the boundaries.
Like, wait. I have a genuine question. Like, what are they?
What do you mean, what are they?
Like, what? Like, they're a team, but like, what are they?
They're family.
Like, of what? Like, what are they?
People. They're a family of people.
Well, they used to be like, it looks like they'd be like contacted in the military and the government. Like,
you know how legit Captain America and the Avengers are contacted by the army when they need help? They are literally the Avengers, but normal people who drive cars.
That's a problem. Like, it's just weird because they're normal people. The
funny thing is, Fast and Furious, like the first one started with a cop and an illegal like racer.
They were just racing.
Now they are killing multiple cop cars. Like
taking on drug lords. Now they're taking on hackers, like this evil villains now. And I'm like, bruh, how did we get here? It just like compared to like superheroes, well, like I guess Marvel. Yeah, but it's weird because they're like what you said, they're normal people and they just be coming here like they're actual superheroes, but they don't say they're superheroes. So just let them be superheroes. I mean, in fact, let them be superheroes. In F9, technically one of them did, but we'll again watch it for yourself. All I'm saying is it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it bothered me. If it physically especially the one scene where they shot into, I'm not trying to give spoilers, but you know what I mean. I'll just say it. No. It's in the trailer. It don't matter. That shouldn't be possible. I mean, I saw Fate of Furious. That was the one before. They were driving on ice. Yes. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how that works. And then Hobbs and Shaw, that also is a kind of a stretch. Oh, no. Idris Elba, he was a superhero. He was literally a superhero. No, he was literally genetically modified. He had technology in him. There were points in the movie where you saw his point of view, and there was like technology stuff going around him, and he was like predicting their movements. You're right. They were superheroes. They were superheroes. Like I said, bro, The Rock was holding a helicopter with that was also some messed up. Bro, tell me how he hanging off the cliff. He in midair, holding a helicopter back with a chain. And he was holding a car too. A chain of cars. He was holding a car that was going the other way and also holding a helicopter. What? He was doing the same thing Captain America was doing. But the difference is Captain America had a superhero serum. So he was already The Rock got that too. The Rock
has no superhero serum. He's just awesome.
And Hobbs and Shaw, he does.
And he also, again, in the movie before that, he broke a cast.
Broke a cast?
Like, he had on a cast because his arm was broken, and he broke the cast. You can't normally do that. Like, you know how casts are so hard, because I had one, that you have to cut them. You know how much force it takes to... And then he proceeded to jump out of the hospital.
I don't know, man.
And then F9, they also run across multiple cars while they're moving. Makes no sense.
Are you really watching Fast and Furious to have sense?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. It's just a good... It's just an action movie. It's just action. You're there for the action. That's
it. It's got to be a cartoon action movie. I guess it is at this point.
Honestly, but yeah. Yeah. Fast and Furious. You need to
How did we get here?
A crossover with Transformers. I don't know. I wanted to rant about F9 because it bothered me yesterday, and I feel better.
Wasn't that like a topic you brought up that you want to talk about?
That was the topic I wanted.
Oh, that was the topic?
That was it. F9 bothered me. It was good, but some of this, I thought they were joking. I was like, the creators and directors have to be trolling. They have to be.
Nah, I'm pretty sure people were like, this is ridiculous. And it was like subtly ridiculous. It wasn't like overtly ridiculous. No, that's the thing. It was just like a little ridiculous.
Because the fate of the Furious was actually subtly.
I think by that movie it was getting a little crazy. Like the submarine coming out of the ice and them.
But those were still like subtle, extreme. This one was blatant, extreme. Like just straight blatant.
I saw this one part of the trailer where it was like John Cena holding Vin Diesel and they're running in the house and then like
he breaks a wall.
That's not how that works. He can't break a wall.
I mean, again, England old in it, so
no, but like John Cena has to be running like super fast, and then Vin Diesel literally has to be like a block of cement.
I mean, there was also another scene. Spoiler alert! But there's another scene where legit Vin Diesel is fighting like 9 grown men. He lifts up and kicks one of them, like drop kicks one of them, and he goes flying off of he breaks the metal banister into the wall and falls. And then Vin Diesel again proceeds to grab 2 chains, pull them, and then you have pillars of concrete chains all falling down on top of him, and he still lives without a scratch. He falls down a pipe of multiple feet, and then Letty dives after him, and she also has no scratches. Does she just know how to professionally dive? F9 bothered me, bro. F9 bothered me.
That sounded crazy.
Anyway, on a much more calm note, I need to calm down. On a much more calm note, movies, they're fun.
They are fun.
They provide conversations like this.
Actually, speaking of movies, I'm gonna do my round of Quiet Place. I didn't get to do it last episode.
Oh yeah, you didn't get to do it. Go ahead.
All right, this movie is like, I think The Quiet Place is the best movie to experience when you're first going back to movie theaters. It has literally everything that you would want to have in a movie experience. The audio is amazing, like the way they like mix the sounds, because like they obviously can't really speak that often because the way the monsters are in the movie. I'll explain that too. The cinematography is really nice. It's just a good movie, and it's pretty short too, which means it's really well paced because you're constantly on edge, but then it's still like spliced together with like moments of like calm where you can like take a breath, and then when it gets going, it just keeps going. Like it just keeps going. And then there's one part in the movie where, dang, that was a good part.
What?
It was a good part.
We just stopped.
It was this one part in the movie. I'm gonna do spoilers now because I can't explain it without spoilers. So nice. Spoiler warning. But they get to this island that's supposed to be the safe haven.
Yeah.
And the monsters in the movie they can't swim basically, right? So I forgot her name actually. Actually, I don't know her name at all. But the deaf girl and the guy in the Quiet Place Part 2, I'm talking about, not the first one. They get to the island. They accidentally bring a monster with them that's inside the boat. So the monster comes out of the boat, right, onto the island. And there's no other monsters there because no other monsters can swim on the island.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this colony of people, right? So the guy finds out there's a monster there. And then he runs to warn everyone else. he has to scream to like get their attention, so it attracts the monster there, and then the monster just starts swinging on people, just killing them all. And so then no more safe haven, and that whole sequence was just like, it was perfect.
Wow.
Because it was just like a nice, chill, relaxing day, and then you just see this man running, just being like, "Get out, run!" All this, and then behind him was like a monster, just like starting to kill people, everyone on the island. And then they try to get off, and then they go to this studio because I'll stop there. Actually, I'll stop right there. But
I mean, that sounds.
Yeah.
I think the reason why A Quiet Place is good is because when I saw the first one, it was a horror movie that actually made sense.
Yeah.
Most horror movies, I'm not gonna lie to you, don't make sense. Like It
was a good. It's a good. Oh my god, I like this movie
good.
so much I can't even speak.
It is good.
The first two of the franchise, I'm guessing they're gonna make a third one because the second one just kind of was like.
The creator literally said that he didn't want to make a second one.
That's valid. He didn't have to make a second one. Like if he just made the first one, I'll be fine with that. But the second one, John Krasinski.
He's struggling. This man can't talk.
Jim from The Office. Jim from The Office. You better make A Quiet Place Part 3.
Jim from The Office.
I lost my train of thought.
It's fine. You got hype. Anyway, that's why A Quiet Place is good. It's a horror movie that makes sense.
I found
similar
it.
to Us.
I figured it out.
And Get Out.
So, it's a good horror movies, because the main conflict isn't the monster. It's like emotional trauma and like problems going on. In the first one, more spoilers. They lost a child.
The first one already came out, bro. If you haven't seen the first one,
yeah.
What are you doing?
But in the first one, they it follows a family. They lost a child. The daughter thinks the father blames him, and then now the relationship is strained. By the end of the movie, the father does a really nice scene. He's like, "I love you. I've always loved you," and it's just like a family coming to grips with grief, basically. Then the second one is kind of like these two kids have to realize their potential of like leadership and like overcoming this, because in the end there's like this scene, and I think it symbolizes them kind of coming of age, basically, and them taking charge, because that's what they did in the last scene. They both killed a monster, and it kept like switching between shots of both of them, and it was like an epic scene. It was nice. It was a good movie.
Well, that's our podcast where we rant about movies. We have other topics
for this
that we'll
episode.
talk about. At least for this episode.
We rant about movies and we try our best to talk.
And then the next one, we might talk about music. We might talk about anime. We might talk about why the world is going to all burn. We don't know. We're talking about life.
Write that down.
We're two teenage boys, basically. And we're just here to talk about life and to have our opinions on it and other people's opinions. We do have guests. Again, go on Spotify to listen to the other 15 or 16 episodes. I don't know.
This will be 16.
This will be 16.
Yeah.
So listen to the other 15 on Spotify or Apple Music or Anchor, whatever you want to use. We have a Twitter at the Campfire Podcast, but Fires with a 1. Instagram, the same thing, at the Campfire Podcast, Fires with a 1.
TikTok? We got TikTok, right?
No.
Yeah.
We don't have TikTok yet. If you want, you can follow us on our individual socials. Mine is MD Styles 1012 on Insta, and then on TikTok it's Smiles_19.
For me, at least right now, it's just I'm on Instagram at ChrisV_25. But I'm planning to rename myself and do something with that. But I'll talk about that some other day.
Follow me on Twitter at Gold Smiles. Also, Smiles is with a Y. Yeah.
Is that everything?
I think that's all the plugging we can do. Oh, we have a YouTube now, so big up YouTube for the audio listeners only. Big up YouTube. We finally, hopefully, got it working. And yeah, good.
Hopefully you do an episode, because this is our first YouTube episode. So
again, if you want to listen to the very first one, Spotify, audio only.
We'll continue to grow and improve as, we get used to this.
Hopefully the background will change. There will be a few episodes outside. And hopefully we can get a guest next week, maybe.
Possibly.
We'll see.
Yeah, episode 16. That's it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Enjoy your 4th of July if you're listening to this today.
Well, no, it's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, well.
So happy.
Hopefully you have enjoyed it then. You know.
Yep. And goodbye.